Okay, in the previous video, we went through completing the employee part of the payroll register, calculated out their current earnings and their deductions, their net pay. Made sure that that totaled and cross-footed. So now we need to see the next step, and that, so we've done step one, okay? We need to journalize the payroll from the payroll register into our payroll journal, okay? And so we're going to go ahead into our templates. We'll go to the payroll journal. We'll record the date. The wages expense debit. Okay. Now for this particular company, we need two of those columns. So we will have to insert another column. And that's going to be wages expense. We'll just say wages sales debit. And we need to, and then this one will say wages office debit. Okay, so we need the total gross wages of sales, which is both Don and Joshua. So I need the $998.80 and the $942.48. And that's $1941.28. $1941.28. Okay, and the wages for the office, what do we have here? Okay, I messed up when I added that column. Okay, so let me add a column over here. Wages, sales, debit. All right. It was 1941.28. Okay, and we will delete that column. Okay. The wages of the office is just yours, so that was $396. Okay. The payroll taxes payable. Okay, we have in this case a payroll taxes payable. We do need to check and see if we need to change that column heading. So if we go here, we need to go to the instructions and go to the chart of accounts. Okay, and we have employees' income tax payable, and then FICA tax payable, SUTA payable, and FUTA payable. So we have actually 4 different accounts. So that's what we're going to have to put on our journal. Okay, so I need to insert a column, insert a column, insert a column. Okay, this one will be called FIT payable. It'll be credit, and we'll have FICA payable, and that'll be a credit. We have SUTA payable, That's a credit. And we have FUTA payable, and that's a credit. Okay, so our FIT payable, or FWT payable, okay, is the grand total of the employee's income tax that was withheld, which is $79. Okay, so 79. Oopsie. 79. Okay, our FICA payable is $178.80. Okay, our SUTA payable, we haven't done that yet. SUTA and FUTA are employer costs, so we're going to do that on a second line. We're going to put the employer costs. Right now we're just putting the employee costs, so we are not going to have anything in SUTA or FUTA. Our wages payable credit will be the net pay, 207,948. Okay, so we now have the payroll register in there, and we need our next step is, so we journalize the payroll from the payroll register. Okay, now that wages payable column needs to be changed to the payroll checking account. So this wages payable is the payroll checking account. That's what we're going to credit. Okay, so now we need to take care of the third step, which is to calculate the employer's payroll tax. The employer has to match the Social Security and Medicare, the FICA, and then they also have to do SUTA and FUTA. So we're going to do that back on our payroll register, and we have to say how much of the current earnings for each employee is taxable for FUTA and SUTA. And remember, the maximum is $7,000. Now Joshua has $11,340 of gross wages already, even before this paycheck. So he's well over the $7,000. So there's not going to be any FUTA or SUTA that the employer has to pay for Joshua. Don is $10,706. So his is over $7,000 is also. So there won't be any for his. Now for you, you have not reached the $7,000 mark yet. Even after this paycheck, you haven't reached it yet. So all $396 from your current earnings is taxable to the employer. Now I have the calculation here. I did again remember to have to change this to 0.006. Okay, and so that took the total of this times 0.006 for FUTA, and it took the total of that times 0.054, the SUTA rate for the SUTA. Okay, so over here for FICA, we need to match the FICA, which is $178.80. We need to pay the SUTA, so that needs to be rounded up to $238. And we need to pay the SUTA, which is $21.38. Okay, and we need to total those. And that's 202.56. Okay, so that's the total employer cost that the employer has to pull out of their pocket in addition to paying the employees. So now we can go, the next step is to journalize the employer costs. So we go to the payroll journal, we have the date, okay, this time payroll tax expense is for the total, and we have the FICA payable 178.80 is matched. The SUTA was 21.38. FUTA was 2.38. Okay, and so now our debits equal our credits, and that is our employer, and we're now done. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and tell this, okay, so that we have 2 decimal places everywhere, and everything looks good. Okay. Again, just like the other special purpose journals, you're not going to post anything to ledgers until you get down to the bottom and you have your totals across. You make sure that your total debits equal your total credits, and then you can post those totals. Okay, so we've now journalized that. Our final step is that we have to make a check payable to cover the paychecks to the employees. So we have to write out these checks. These 3 checks are going to be written out of the payroll checking account. And the owner, Mr. Ryan, is going to do that himself. Okay? But that means 207,948 is going to be taken out of the payroll checking account when these employees cash their checks. And we got nothing coming in. So we have to take money out of the regular checking account and stick it into the payroll checking account. Okay? So we're going to go into our cash payments journal. Okay? And we're going to have to, we'll be crediting cash, because we're writing a check out. It told you what check number. Okay, so that's coming out of cash, which is the regular checking account. And then we need to debit the payroll checking account. Now there is no column here, so you can either go ahead and make yourself a column, because it is twice during the month you're going to have to do that, or you can put it in here, payroll checking, and put in the amount there that's going to be